principle behind an engine magical? Of course not. It is as simple as ABC, and this is what I'm about to reveal to you today. How does an engine work? I'm going to explain the mechanism behind an engine, especially a diesel engine. So I'm going to narrow this video to a diesel engine. How does a diesel engine work? Of course, in a diesel engine, we have four strokes. We have the suction stroke, we have the compression stroke, we have the power stroke, and the exhaust stroke. What really happens in the suction stroke? In the suction stroke, what happens is this: the piston of the engine moves from the top dead center to the bottom dead center. What do I mean by top dead center? Top dead center is just the maximum limit at which the piston can move upward, and while the bottom dead center is the minimum limit at which the piston can move when it goes downward. So you get, when it moves upward, it gets to the top dead center. When the piston moves downward, it gets to the bottom dead center. So what happens is this: before that movement, the air inlet valve opens up, and when it opens up, as the piston begins to move from the top dead center to the bottom dead center, it sucks in air into the cylinder, and when it gets to the bottom dead center, the inlet valve shuts off as a result of the rotation from the camshaft. The camshaft is the component that controls the opening and the closing of the valve using the rocker arm assembly, right? So at that point, when the piston now gets sufficient air into the cylinder and the inlet valve is shut off, at that point the suction stroke is being completed. Then the engine kickstarts the next stroke, which is the compression stroke. Then the piston moves from the bottom dead center back upward to the top dead center, and in that case, both the air inlet valve and the exhaust valve are being shut off. So when the piston begins to move, because there is nowhere in which there's no point in which the trapped air can escape, as the piston begins to move from the bottom dead center back up to the top dead center, it compresses the air in the cylinder until it attains a temperature which can allow it to ignite. And you believe, well, and for combustion to take place, there are three basic elements that are needed. We need fuel, we need air, because air stands for it takes the place of oxygen. Oxygen, of course, we know oxygen supports combustion, right? We need air, that's oxygen, we need fuel, and then we need heat. If these three elements are complete, then a combustion can take place. So as the air is being compressed, the temperature goes up, serving as a source of heat. So now in the cylinder we have air, that's oxygen, we have a source of heat, and the other component which we'll be looking out for is the fuel. So it's at that point when the injector sprays in, or nozzle, as the case may be, depending on the design of the engine, depending on the fuel mechanism behind that engine, the injector or the nozzle. At that point, when it sprays in fuel, the three elements are now being completed, right? Then we now have an explosion which gives rise to the third stroke, which is the power stroke. So when the explosion happens, the energy from the fuel as a result of the explosion, that means the mixture of fuel, air, and heat, the energy released forces the piston to move from the top dead center back down to the bottom dead center, which is that which marks the power stroke. That is when the engine moves. It marks the power stroke. Then the final stroke, which is the fourth stroke, called the exhaust stroke. What happened then is this: by the time the piston moves from the top dead center to the bottom dead center, it has done work, and the gases we now have some residual gases in the cylinder, right? And the piston has to kick this gas off the cylinder so that it can continue the cycle again. So what happens then is this: At the exhaust stroke, the exhaust valve now goes, it opens up, then the piston moves from the bottom dead center back to the top dead center, clearing the cylinder of all residue gases. So the engine continues the cycle, and that is how the diesel engine works. Thanks for watching. If you find this video helpful, do well to subscribe to my channel and share this video.